Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Schwartz-Reichel. My career began in music education where I learned the importance of a key change, a shift, in the tonal center of a piece of music, often used to inject energy or produce significance. Eventually, I realized the impact of making key changes in all areas of my life and the desire to help others do the same. Making key changes can be difficult. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I do like to pose questions for reflection and offer actionable key changes for us to attempt in both our working and living situations. Together, we can unlock our greatest potential in collaboration with those we love, serve, and lead. Let's discover how we can grow together by making key changes. New Year's goals often start with the best intentions. We begin the year motivated, hopeful, and ready for change. But when daily life sets in, that motivation can fade, especially if nothing is holding us accountable. Schedules fill up, energy dips, and suddenly those goals that felt so clear on January 1st feel much harder to maintain. Did you know the second Friday in January is known as Quitter's Day? Research shows that more than half of people abandon their resolutions by then. But here's the important part. Quitter's Day isn't about failure. It's about awareness. It's a moment to recognize when something isn't working, to pause, reset, recommit, and try again with more intention. That's where 3 foundational pillars come into play: consistency, accountability, and growth. As we discussed in episode number 51, titled Consistency is Key, long-term success doesn't come from big bursts of motivation or dramatic changes. It comes from showing up regularly. Small actions, repeated over time, build momentum. Even when results aren't immediate, consistency strengthens habits and keeps us moving forward. Accountability reinforces that commitment. Whether it's to yourself, a mentor, or a trusted peer, knowing someone or something is tracking your progress makes you more likely to stay the course, even when motivation dips. And growth is what happens when consistency and accountability work together. Growth shows up in our skills, our confidence, our relationships, and even our overall well-being. When all 3 pillars, consistency, accountability, and growth, align, they create a powerful feedback loop that allows real, lasting transformation to happen. In 2016, I was offered a column in InTune Monthly Magazine Teacher's Edition. What started as lesson plans turned into a 5-year journey of writing articles used by educators across the country. In 2018, the National Association for Music Education, also known as NAFME, reached out to reprint my work, sending my articles to over 58,000 members each month. Over time, my writing expanded beyond music to topics like burnout, routines, consistency, and gratitude. Ironically, many of my most read articles barely mention music at all. They focus on universal challenges such as stress, motivation, or sustainability, and they've been shared nationwide as professional learning resources. At the end of 2025, I learned my article titled Consistency is Key, published in February 2025, ranked number 4 on the most read list for 2025. That's my 8th article to be highlighted in this top 10 list over the last 6 years. I hit the number 1 spot in both 2022 when I co-authored an article with Ken Buck titled The Heartbreaking Truth About Education, Why and How Will We Survive? And again in 2023 with another co-authored article with Amy Kraft titled Planning for the Inevitable, Navigating Challenges in and Out of the Classroom. That consistency, writing, sharing my thoughts, and showing up each month with topics of interest led to speaking engagements across the country and beyond education. If you look at my LinkedIn page, you'll see a strong professional year, but it doesn't tell the whole story. In 2025, I spoke in new spaces, taught graduate courses, launched the Confidence Camp for girls and the Confidence Retreat for women, and aired my 100th podcast episode. I'm deeply grateful for this work. And still, 2025 was hard. There was rejection, along with anxiety, uncertainty, and pain. Moments I wouldn't wish on anyone. But sharing some of those experiences through this podcast and my writing connected me with so many of you. That connection mattered more than any metric. My one word for 2025 was consistent. In some areas of my life, I lived that word fully. I showed up. I stayed committed. I followed through, even when it wasn't easy. In other areas, though, I fell short. Life got crazy. Energy waned. Priorities shifted. And there were moments when consistency felt more like survival than progress. But here's what I've learned. Consistency doesn't mean getting it right all the time. It means choosing to return. It means recommitting when you drift. It means showing yourself grace while still holding yourself accountable. So, I'm not letting go of that word consistent. It's still shaping how I grow, how I lead, how I love, and how I live. At the same time, I'm making space for something new. For 2026, my word is hope. Hope that growth is still unfolding. Hope that effort still matters. And hope that even small, meaningful, key changes can create lasting growth. And that hope is what allows consistency to feel possible again. As we move forward together on this journey of making key changes, I want to reshare 5 key changes you can make to stay consistent with your goals. These aren't about overhauling your life overnight. They're about creating sustainable habits that support real growth over time. If you'd like a deeper dive into each of these key changes and learn a few examples for each, I encourage you to revisit episode number 51, where I expand on these ideas in more detail. Key change number 1, start small, then crescendo. Big changes can feel exciting, but they're often hard to sustain. Small, manageable steps are where consistency begins. Focus on one area at a time. Build confidence and allow your efforts to grow gradually. Key change number 2, create a routine with specific goals. Vague goals don't stick. When your goals are clear and measurable, it's easier to stay committed. Consistency thrives in routine, especially when your goals are woven into your daily life. Key change number 3, track progress and celebrate wins. Progress fuels motivation. When you take time to notice how far you've come, no matter how small the win, you're most likely to keep going. Key change number 4, stay flexible. Life will always bring challenges. When it does, adjust without guilt. This isn't about perfection. It's about persistence and learning how to adapt while staying committed. And key change number 5, surround yourself with support. Consistency is easier when you're not doing it alone. Share your goals, invite accountability, and allow others to encourage you. Growth truly happens in community. At the end of the day, or the year, consistency remains the key change that ensures lasting growth. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need it. You'll find the link to subscribe to the Making Key Changes newsletter in the show notes. And if you're planning an event and want to guide your people toward confidence, compassion, and sustainable growth, I'd love to partner with you. How are we making key changes to remember that consistency remains the key change to ensure lasting growth? Thanks for listening. If you haven't done so yet, please consider rating and reviewing the Making Key Changes podcast on the Apple Podcast app. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with others and joining me again next week. In my coming episodes, I'll discuss topics that are most passionate to me, along with things I've been researching or areas of my life I have changed or want to change. You can learn more about me on my website, makingkeychanges.com. Feel free to message me through there or reach out on social media. I'd love to hear from you and learn about what key changes you hope to make.